Monday, July the 16th, 2018, at 2 p.m. in council chambers. And we will first of all do some adoption of some minutes, the regular open minutes of July the 3rd, 2018, the public hearing minutes of July the 3rd, and the special open minutes of July the 3rd. Could we have a motion, please? Thank you. Councillor Rhodes, Councillor Youngberg, all in favor to adopt those. Next is business arising from prior minutes. And I do have a press release that I'm going to read, July the 16th, and it is the land donation from the Conconi Foundation to the town of Vesuvius. The Robert L. Conconi Foundation, the Conconi Foundation, and the town of Vesuvius Council in brackets, are pleased to announce that the Conconi Foundation has donated the undeveloped portion of Lot 1, Plan KAP 58987, except Strata Plan KAS 1892, Phase 1, parcel identifier 023-746-289, the property, to the town of Vesuvius. This property has a civic address of 6010 Maple Drive and is tied by strata development agreement to Palms by the Lake, called the Palms. The property includes two parcels, with the first comprising 1.81 acres and the second comprising 0.73 acres. The Conconi Foundation acquired the property by way of foreclosure on the original developer, and the town is now in discussions with the Palms to enable a subdivision of the donated property from Phase 1 of the Palms development. The town is thankful for the generous donation, which enables the opportunity to further the goals of the Conconi Foundation and address community needs through the planned use of the land. The Conconi Foundation is excited for Council to identify a project that will contribute positively to the future development of the Vesuvius community. No development decisions have been considered, and Council has committed to a public engagement process prior to any final development decisions. The community engagement process relating to future land use will be identified in Council's 2019 business plan activities. The Robert L. Conconi Foundation is a Vancouver-based foundation with the mission to inspire and empower individuals through British Columbia by supporting organizations in the areas of health, poverty, education, and arts. It was founded by Robert Conconi, a retired British Columbia entrepreneur, as part of his mission to give back to the communities that enabled his own success. So you can read more about the Conconi Foundation at www.conconi.org. And additional information contact is our CAO, Mr. Romenko, at the town, and Sanja Simic, Executive Director of the Conconi Foundation. So we're very pleased to have been given this piece of property, double, two pieces really together, and we're looking forward to working with not only the Palms but the community to find a very appropriate use for this. And it will take us a little while, and we'll certainly ask for from some discussions with people in the town, and we look forward to developing this.
That's great news.
It certainly is good news. So, do we have an introduction of any late items? No. Okay, thank you. So could I please have the agenda adopted?
Gentlemen.
Thank you. That would be Councillor King, Councillor Campbell. All in favor. Thank you. First up then is some water accounts, and we have our water councillors here to report on expenditures from accounts payable for water councillors and council approval. So water district cash requirements to July the 16th, 2018 are in the amount of $6,485.89 for council approval. Could we have a, thank you, Councillor Ray, Councillor Morera, that we approve that? All in favor? Thank you very much. No correspondence. Next is the Council Indemnity Bylaw 1345. Mr. Zackel.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. So before Council Indemnity Bylaw 1345, Council remuneration is established through Council Indemnity Bylaw 1221. This new bylaw being brought forward for Council's consideration is due to changes in 2017 federal budget. Bylaw 1345 received first three readings at the June 18th regular open meeting. An adjustment was made to this bylaw, and third reading was rescinded and reread for a third time as amended at the last meeting of Council. So this bylaw now is before Council for consideration of adoption.
Good. And the options are to adopt the bylaw 1345 2018. Councillor Campbell.
I move to adopt Council Indemnity Bylaw 1345, 2018.
Thank you. And Councillor Youngberg is seconding that. All in favor? Thank you very much. And next is the Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw. Ms. Van Vienen.
Thank you. Fire Protection and Life Safety Bylaw number 1333-2017 was adopted by Council on June the 4th, 2018. An amendment to Municipal Ticket Bylaw number 1279 is now necessary to assess fines for infractions under Bylaw number 1333. Attached for three readings is Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw number 1279.14. This bylaw will amend Schedule 1 to reflect the removal of the previous Oceas Fire Department and Regulation Bylaw number 720 and Oceas Fire Protection Act Bylaw number 643, which were both rescinded through Bylaw 1333. Schedule 1 now includes the new Fire Protection and Life Safety Bylaw. Bylaw 1279.14 also replaces Schedule 8 to assess fines to the various infractions under the new bylaw. Schedule 8 previously assessed fines for Bylaw 720, and Schedule 9 is being removed as it assessed fines under Bylaw 643. Fire Chief McCaskill has reviewed the fines and has no concerns. Implications to the community: enforcement of a bylaw critical to the safety of the citizens. No organizational or budget implications. Significant dates: currently there is no ability to fine under this bylaw until this bylaw is adopted, and therefore any infractions would have to be dealt with through the court system under the Offence Act. And sustainability: to ensure the enforceability of town bylaws. Options: 1, that Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw number 1279.14 be read a first, second, and third time. 2, that it be sent back to staff for further review. Or 3, that it be abandoned, and staff recommend option 1.
Thank you very much. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I move option 1 as worded in the three choices.
And Councillor Youngberg has seconded that. It seems to make perfect sense, and you've had the fire chief okay it, so he's comfortable with it. Good. All in favor of this? Thank you very much. Next is the Councillor Rhodes attended a meeting in Penticton with the Swiss Museum executive. Is there someone who would like to move the? Thank you. That we pay Councillor Rhodes $50 for a half day. Good. And that was moved and seconded by Councillor Campbell. All in favor? Thank you, Councillor Rhodes. And next is the ICBC Information Sharing Agreement. Ms. Van Vienen.
Thank you. In 2007, ICBC made it a requirement to enter into an access to information agreement in order for the town to obtain vehicle licensing and ownership information for bylaw enforcement or municipal ticketing. The town has had an agreement with ICBC for access to information since 2007. A copy of the agreement is attached for council approval and authorization. This agreement sets out who can collect the vehicle ownership information, how it must be stored, and retention and destruction requirements. The agreement is for a term of 3 years beginning June 9th, 2018. In Section 13.1E, the bylaw enforcement contractor is noted as being a third party able to obtain access to this information through our office. The town has a current policy that deals with ICBC information sharing that covers the requirements under the agreement. Implications: nothing to the community. Organizationally, the ability to obtain information to enforce traffic bylaws. No budget implications. Significant dates: this must be signed as soon as possible as the previous agreement expired June 9th. Sustainability: ability to continue enforcing our bylaws. Options: 1, that the town signatories be authorized to sign the information sharing agreement with ICBC, or 2, that the town not enter into an information sharing agreement with ICBC, and staff recommend option 1 as this information is critical to enforcing our traffic bylaw.
Thank you very much. Councillor Youngberg?
I'd like to make the motion that the town signatories be authorized to sign the information sharing agreement with ICBC.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Councillor King? Can I just ask, Ms. Van Vian, we've done this on a 3-year basis since 2007, have we?
That's correct.
And we've never had any problems, and it's just a formality to do it again. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Member Kordoff. Can I inquire about the cost of this service?
There is no cost. The only thing is ICBC makes it, puts a lot of constraints on us on how we share this information. We can't put it on certain portions of our networking system so that it's kept very secure, and they need to know that it's locked up in our office and that sort of thing. And we do have an information sharing agreement with the bylaw enforcement officer as well to cover this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, all in favor of the motion? Thank you very much. Next is the RMI Modification Agreement. Mr. Zackel?
Thank you. So the town of Osoyoos is designated as a resort municipality. The town received $378,993.97 in 2017. Our contract was renewed in March of this year. This modification agreement confirms the payments for 2018. The first payment of $177,140 was received in April of 2018, and the second payment of $203,516 would be received within 30 days of council signing this modification agreement. So the implications for community is continued funding to improve amenities in the town of Osoyoos. Under budget, estimated funding of $380,656 to be received for 2018. Significant date, second part of funding will be received once the modification agreement is fully executed. And options before council to authorize the mayor and corporate officer to sign the attached agreement between the town of Osoyoos and province of BC, or option 2 to delay the signing of the attached agreement. And staff is recommending option 1. This allows the municipality to continue receiving funding for the resort municipality projects in the community.
Thank you very much, and we're very happy to have this RMI funding continue, certainly for another year. So we've got lots of things that we can spend this on, so we just need to make sure we get the money. Councillor Campbell.
So I'm going to make a motion, and I just wanted to speak to it for a second. Obviously, I'm going to move option number 1 because it would be crazy not to. I'm wondering...
Just a minute. Can I get...
I'll second it, and I have a
second it,
question
and
also.
now, go ahead.
So this morning, I know some people on Granicus watch council meetings and some committee of the wholes. For those that didn't see the committee of the whole meeting, I'm wondering if this would be a good opportunity for CAO Romenko just to speak very briefly to the changes to the RMI funding that you discussed earlier this morning in regards to housing.
Just a minute. Can I just ask? Granicus was on this morning, just not for the entire...
No, it was on
the entire meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so does that change what your ask is? Maybe they...
Well, actually, the change wasn't to RMI. It was to MRDT,
Yeah.
which is Municipal Regional District Tax Funds.
Yeah.
But I can provide an overview.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's, I know there's been some confusion about it,
Yeah.
and what funds were being spent on that housing, and I think this clears it up a little bit.
Okay, I can do that. Yes, as of last week, notice came out. When the budget came out, there was an announcement that the MRDT funding, which is the Municipal Rural District Tax, which is a 2% that is on hotel tax rooms, hotel rooms. There was an announcement that the funds could be spent on staff accommodation housing, and that caused a flurry of activity in the tourism industry, especially because many destination marketing organizations like Destination Osoyoos relied on the MRDT funds for their marketing activities. So it's now been clarified that what the province is targeting is the new revenue that comes from the online reservation companies like Airbnb. They are now in a tax agreement where they're going to be collecting the provincial sales tax and the MRDT, and they'll be providing those funds to the destination marketing organizations. That additional new revenue can be used for tourist staff accommodation development.
That's great. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Did you have,
Yeah, I did.
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Madam
Councillor
Mayor.
King.
I guess, Mr. Zacher, with this modification agreement, is that just the numbers, like it was different than now, that's why you modify the amount?
That's correct. The province wants to have the numbers intact, and that's why they're making this modification agreement.
Thank you.
So we've had, did you want?
Let's just say one more thing.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, and just, again, it was discussed this morning, but just to reiterate, the RMI program is still not a line item on the provincial budget, just for people's knowledge. It still falls under discretionary spending, and I think it's important that Osoyoos with other resort municipalities, whether it be through UBCM or otherwise, continues to try to push the provincial government to make this as a line item. And the real reason is, when we look at projects, whether it's the Gyro Plaza or whether it's the money that could be earmarked for staff housing, when we look at the funds that come in of $378,000, or I think a year ago it was 400 and change, you're looking at several years to create meaningful projects like that. So to have the comfort to know that these funds would be available, even if they're based on 3 or 5 year budget line items, would be extremely helpful to resort municipalities.
Thank you. And Mr. Romanko and I have attended several meetings of the Resort Municipality Initiative and the 14 municipalities, and that definitely is one of the things that we have pushed for. But I guess, to be fair, the NDP government have not been in long enough that they needed to have a good look at this and understand what it was, and to their credit, they have spent a fair amount of time looking at this, and we're just happy that they have come up with the funding now, but we certainly will be meeting with them again at UBCM. Okay, so we have moved and seconded that we go with option 1. All in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next is the 7502 Main Street, Grizzly Distillery, and that would be Miss McKay. I thought we weren't going to see you this afternoon, but you decided to come back. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor McCorduck. I was busy, surprisingly, in that department.
Your microphone.
Am I on now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now?
Yep.
Sorry, thank you. So this is in respect of property at 7502 Main Street for Grizzly Distillery. So Peter Rax from Grizzly Distillery has expressed interest in establishing a craft distillery at 7502 Main Street. The applicant requires support from local government in order to proceed with his application to the liquor distribution branch. The council approved a rezoning proposal in 2016 which would allow for craft distilleries to be located in downtown commercial, highway commercial, and the tourist commercial zones at C1, C3, and C4 respectively. Staff have reviewed Part 11 of the Liquor Licensing Branch application form, which serves as notice to local government. The branch requests that council consider the application and provide the branch with a resolution in respect of the application. It also states that, alternatively, the local government may delegate staff with the authority to provide comments. Local government may choose not to provide comments, in which case the branch will gather public input and may contact local government staff for information to assist them in considering their regulatory criteria. The applicant is aware that compliance with all sections of the zoning bylaw, the business license bylaw, and the BC Building Code is required. Sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Implications for the community. Community input on the possible locations of craft distilleries was sought during the rezoning process for the craft distillery located on Lakeshore Drive. at which time craft distillery was added as a permitted use in the C1, C3, and C4 zones. No significant dates at this time with respect to sustainability. The proposed use would contribute to economic sustainability by diversifying the range of businesses and new opportunities. Options: council may direct staff to provide comments to liquor branch upon formal receipt of the application, in which case we would just wait till we received it formally. Or option 2, council may opt out of leading a public consultation process and direct staff to provide comments to liquor distribution branch should they request assistance. Now, staff are recommending option 2 because council has tacitly sort of approved the use in this particular zone. So what would happen in this case, just to clarify, is we would just provide a letter of support with the resolution of council, which is what has done previously with changes to liquor licenses in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Campbell?
Thank you, Member Kordoff. In the spirit of consistency and fairness, I'm going to go with option number 2, as we have anytime this same type of report has been brought before us. So I'm moving option 2.
Are you and it's being seconded? So can I just ask, this is just a preliminary, we own this house and we think, because that's what it is, the property is a house, right? And so it looks to me like there could be several different things that need to be done before it moves on to the next.
Thank you, Mayor McCarthy. That's a very good question. So they have actually employed the services of a architect and a code specialist, and they actually provided preliminary drawings, but they're going to be changing them, so I didn't include them with this report at this time. They're looking to see if we're going to support this in that location. I've already had our building inspector look at the drawings, and he indicated to me that it looks like they know what they're doing, and they've taken into consideration the adjacent uses. So what the plan is to have the building that's closer to the water would be where there would be a small tasting room, and that's where the actual distilling would take place. And then the small home at the front, or closer to the street, would just be their offices. And it looks quite good.
Oh, okay, and obviously parking is going to factor into this as well at some point.
And it's thank you, sorry. That's a very good question. They only require 2 parking spaces under the zoning bylaw.
Okay.
You know, their intent is not to sort of advertise it as a drive to this place. It's kind of like to add to sort of the resort atmosphere in the area, and people walking by could conceivably go in and have a taste as they would of a winery. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So have we had it moved and seconded? Yes, but you would like to speak? Go ahead.
Thank you, Member Kordoff. I'm not speaking, just another question. One of the major obstacles at the other one that we did last year or the year before was water supply, and I'm wondering if that was addressed in any of the preliminary information that you got. I think we just have regular town service there, and the volume of water that's required at these things is pretty enormous, and I'm wondering if that was addressed at all.
Thank you. At this particular point, what we've advised the applicant is that they would have to comply with all zoning bylaw, building requirements, et cetera, and that would be discussed should they be successful in obtaining the licensing. The size of this particular operation is considerably smaller than that one that's operating on Lakeshore, but they would still be required to address any concerns that might be brought up by either the building or by operational services.
Okay. Are you okay with that? Go ahead.
And just one other question. Distillery, so that would be hard liquor or beer or both, or do we know?
It's hard liquor.
Okay.
Yes.
And just a comment to the smell. There was some concerns on Lakeshore about the smell. So do you actually discuss what systems they're using when they build?
Well, that would,
dealt with.
sorry, thank you again through the chair. Thank you, Councillor Youngberg. That would be addressed through the Good Neighbor bylaw. Again, compliance with all municipal bylaws is a requirement, but it's certainly something that we look at during the building permit stage.
Okay. Thanks. Good. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we go with option number 2, and all in favor? Thank you very much. Well, that's, I would never have, that would never have occurred to me that that would be a good place for one, but I guess,
You want to serve on the beach on the back?
well, yeah, do they serve onto the beach? No, I'm kidding.
Somebody wants a new truck.
Well, he didn't put his tie on.
At the back is
No tie.
Yeah, I know, can't be asking for that much.
conditioning in a truck, that's okay.
It's just a little.
there's two items though.
Yeah, I know, he doesn't put them together, he has to wait one at a time.
One at a time. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. McKay. Mr. Dinwiddie, a contract award for the purchase of a new 3/4-ton pickup truck.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. This new truck will replace unit number 25, which is a 1997 Dodge 3/4-ton pickup truck, which has over 300,000 kilometers on its odometer. The new pickup truck will be used by our parks crews for tasks such as transporting student laborers to job sites, tree trimming, weed control, flower maintenance, trail maintenance, that sort of thing. So the Operational Services Department received 2 bids for this project. A detailed analysis of those bids is attached for our Town Council's information. The bid price for the Ford F-250 truck, including power lift tailgate and PST, is $40,446, which is $5,446 over the approved budget for this project. The bid price for the Dodge Ram truck, including power lift tailgate and PST, is $48,884.02, which is $13,884.02 over the approved budget for this project. The Operational Services Department recommends that Town Council approve the purchase of the Ford F-250 truck, but without the power tailgate option, resulting in a total bid price of $35,631, including PST, which is only $631 over the approved budget for this project. When financed through MFA over 5 years, the result is an extra annual charge of $126.20. So this budget over expenditure can be accommodated within operating funds. So the implications for the community are more effective delivery of services to the town of Osoyoos by minimizing downtime caused by equipment failure. Organizationally, the Operational Services Department will be able to more efficiently transport labor crews throughout the community with a more reliable vehicle. For the budget, the bid price submitted by Metro Motors Limited for 2019, brand spanking new, F-250 pickup truck is $37,324, all taxes included, without the power tailgate option. The town of Osoyoos receives a rebate on GST, therefore lowering the total bid price to $35,631. Significant dates: in order for the new vehicle to be delivered to the Operational Services Department in a timely manner, it is recommended that Town Council award this contract as soon as possible. And sustainability: reduce greenhouse gas emissions from using newer, more energy-efficient vehicle. The options before Council are option 1, that the Council of the Town of Osoyoos authorize up to $37,324 be borrowed under Section 175 of the Community Charter from the Municipal Finance Authority for the purpose of purchasing a 2019 Ford F-250 pickup truck from Metro Motors Limited, and that the loan be repaid within 5 years with no rights of renewal. Option number 2 is a Town Council re-tender this project. And option number 3 is that Council requests additional information prior to making a decision. The administration recommends Town Council adopt option number 1.
Thank you. And this was approved in our budget for this year, wasn't it? This isn't something new that Mr. Dinwiddie has dreamed up.
Yeah,
We're just
only
teasing.
$631
We're
over.
just teasing. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you. I'll move option number 1 so they can have their truck.
And is so he can have his truck? Okay, somebody going to second that? Thank you very much. Anybody want to speak? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. No competitive quote from General Motors at all? Or?
No, unfortunately, I did send this specifically out to, when the tender went out to the big wide world, I did send it to the GMC dealership in Kelowna, and they did not respond.
That's too bad. Councillor Younger?
Question: where's Metro Motors?
Chilliwack.
Thanks.
Pretty amazing that no local,
Yeah.
have
Well, the
responded the same way.
Chrysler, the Dodge bid was from a local dealership in Penticton. It's just unfortunate that the Chrysler products are much more expensive than the Ford products.
Yes. Okay. All right, Councillor King.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. How important was it for that power lift gate?
It's not the end of the world. It's a convenient option to have, especially when you're trying to load up eggs of fertilizer, seed, that sort of thing. It's nice to be able to put the lawnmowers on the lift gate and it lifts up into the bed of the truck. We can put it on after the fact in a few years if we save up some money and stuff like
We
that.
have a forklift?
No, we do not. We already have 2 vehicles in the fleet that have the power tail lift.
Okay.
This would have been nice to have a third, but
Okay.
it's an add-on that we can do after the fact if we find extra
And the
money.
money?
Okay, thank you.
Next week.
So it's been moved and seconded that we approve option number 1. All in favor? Thank you very much. And now the second one. This would be a purchase of a multi-purpose utility tractor. Mr. Dinwiddie.
Thank you, Mayor McCortoff. So our trail system has recently been upgraded from gravel to over 5 kilometers of paved surface. Our current equipment's main purpose is to cut grass in open areas and was never meant to maintain the surface of paved trails or the shoulders of that trail. Our existing fleet of 3 trail maintenance vehicles, 2 lawn mowing tractors, and 1 aging utility tractor will not be able to maintain the new trail network free of ice, snow, weeds, etc. in a timely manner. So for this project, the Operational Services Department received 5 bids. Unfortunately, all 5 bids were over the approved capital budget of $50,000 for this purchase. However, the town of Osoyoos has recently been informed that we qualified for a $29,500 grant from ICBC for our proposed curb extension work on Main Street between 85th and 89th Streets, which is part of the Highway 3 Storm Sewer Project. The Operational Services Department proposes utilizing these ICBC funds to compensate for the budget shortfall in this equipment purchase. So you can see attached is a very detailed analysis of the cost of this tractor. The implications for the community, once again, more effective delivery of services to the town of Osoyoos by minimizing downtime caused by equipment failure. Organizationally, the Operational Services Department will be able to perform improved trail maintenance since the new tractor will be equipped with a long reach flail mower. Budget-wise, the approved capital budget for this project was $50,000. The additional funding necessary to complete this project can be obtained from the cost savings on the Highway Number 3 Storm Sewer Installation Project, as I said before, the $29,500 for road improvement grant from ICBC. Significant dates: in order for the new vehicle to be delivered to the Operational Services Department in a timely manner, it is recommended the Town Council award this contract as soon as possible. Sustainability: reduce greenhouse gas emissions from using newer, more energy-efficient vehicle. So the options before Council are option number 1, that the Council of the Town of Osoyoos authorizes up to $50,000 be borrowed under Section 175 of the Community Charter from the Municipal Finance Authority for the purpose of purchasing a 2018 Boomer 40 New Holland tractor with a Wren flail mower from Rollins Machinery Limited, and that the loan be repaid within 5 years with no rights of renewal. The additional funds required to complete the purchase will come from cost savings on the Highway Number 3 Storm Sewer Installation Project, the $29,500 for road improvement grant from ICBC. Option number 2 is the Town Council defer this equipment purchase until 2019 after allocating additional funding to the purchase. And option number 3 is the Council requests additional information prior to making a decision. Administration recommends Council adopt option number 1.
And I see that this particular place is also in Chilliwack.
Yes.
So is Chilliwack
Hotbed for bidding, apparently. So,
was this was something new? This was not in the budget this year?
yep. Yeah, the utility tractor was in
It
the
was.
budget, but it was
Okay.
only for $50,000. What really pushed it over the top was the purchase of the long reach flail mower. That's about
Okay.
$25,000,
Okay.
and so that's why we're closer to $75,000 for this purchase.
Good. Okay, thank you. Councillor Rhodes?
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I wonder if you could go in a bit more detail about the excess on the Highway 3 project and how that would...
Well, I applied when we were making the bump outs on Highway 3. We applied to ICBC under their road improvement grant program because what they do is they look at the bump outs as being a improvement for traffic safety-wise. It is a shorter distance for pedestrians to cross the road. It's easier for them to cross the roads. Hopefully, there's less accidents, because when you put bump outs on major roadways, it tends to slow the traffic down. So ICBC has looked at our proposal. We've sent them the plans for the bump outs we have on 85th Street and the proposed ones at 87th and 89th Street. They then do some sort of magic formula and calculation, and they came up with a number of $29,500, which they will give us.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, well, that's all nice, but we can just use it for anything?
Well,
There was
it
no
would be
figure.
$29,500 that we wouldn't have had to spend out of our funding for the project, right? So the $29,500 is kind of allocated for the bump outs, but that's money we wouldn't have spent out of out of the capital budget for that project. So that capital funding now becomes available for something else.
Would you be planning to apply for this grant again when the next two sections of the road are being done?
If we do more bump outs there, yes.
I think that's the plan, is it, to do bump
Well,
outs?
it includes the ones at 87th and 89th already.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right, thank you. Have we got it moved and
Can I
seconded?
just speak it?
Absolutely.
So it's just a matter of moving money from our, what it would be money that would be in our road program and replacing it on a grant that we didn't know that we were going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of moving the capital monies around to enable this project to go ahead. The money that for the bump outs from ICBC will actually be used and accounted for in the bump outs for the road.
Okay. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Councillor King?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I guess I'm just looking at this chart with that Roland's machinery where it includes the mower and the tractor.
Yep.
To me, sounds cheaper than the one you're talking about. $8,000.
Well, like I said, we won't need all of the $29,000. Like I said, the Rollins price includes the mower and the flail. It came at $66,980. Well, if you add taxes to it, it comes out to $75.
And the other one says it includes a mower also, a 3.0 mower.
Yep, but like I said, Rollins is the cheapest price by far. The one, well, I don't know which one you were looking at.
That's the one I was looking at.
Yeah, so that's the one we would like to buy.
Oh, I thought you were looking at the first one. I'm sorry.
No, not the first one. The first one is more expensive. The
Okay.
first one had a price for the tractor as well as a price for the mower, but it comes in at $84,000 roughly. So that's
Okay, sorry.
unless you're willing to give us more money, But
No.
That's fine.
Should have wore your tie.
Yeah. It's just a little. Councillor Rhodes?
Just a general question about the budgeting process that we went through with this. How could we be so far out in our budget estimate?
When we originally asked for the tractor, we weren't really thinking about the flail mower attachment. But after looking at the needs of our trails, after the budget process, it became clear that we need some sort of a long reach flail. So this flail, it's actually on an arm with a lawnmower on the end of it, and it reaches out about 10, 12 feet from the machine so that it gives you a better you're able to cut down more weeds along the sides of the paths. Our current flail mower, you have to drag right behind the tractor, and you can't get, like, there's quite a slope and stuff like that, so you can't get there with our existing tractor. So we think that the use of the flail mower will be very, very handy. It'll improve maintenance on the trails a great deal.
So the original intent was to buy the tractor. Our
Yeah.
estimate was $50,000, and we were going to pull one that we have already with
Well,
us.
we were planning on just kind of using our existing flail, but I don't think it's going to do the job that we need it to do. We also were looking at, like, our existing utility tractor is almost on its last legs as well. It tends to be a little bit underpowered when we're doing things like the power broom and plowing snow with it and stuff like that. It doesn't have a whole lot of oomph. This one will have up to 40 horsepower, so it'll be able to power that broom, sweep the trails better than the one that we currently have.
Okay. So have we had this moved and seconded? No. All right. So we need somebody to make a motion here, please. One of the options. Yes. Thank you.
So,
You're moving this. Do we need
no,
it?
no,
Sorry,
no,
you're not.
no. I just have another question
Yeah.
or a comment. I'm kind of struggling with this a little bit. I get the original intent for buying the tractor, but the criteria changed. Is that correct? Am I right?
Yeah, we hadn't anticipated a flail mower costing that much money.
Okay.
But upon research, we discovered there's only two different kinds of flails. One is an Italian-made machine, and this one is a British-made machine, and they're both the same price. Nobody else in North America makes these things.
Okay.
Is the addition of that piece of equipment, and you've explained what it's needed for, is it really, is the reasoning more for efficiency, or will we have better looking trails because of it?
You'll have better looking trails because we'll be able to, like I said, flail mower farther away from the path than we can now. Also, because it has more power, it will be able to clean the paths better than what it currently Kubota tractor does.
I'll move to approve the purchase.
Moved and seconded.
Just a question.
Go ahead, Councillor Youngberg.
So is there any other use for this tractor besides just doing the mowing on the trails? Can you take those extensions off and use the tractor for another use?
Oh yeah, like when the tractor isn't doing trail maintenance, it could be used to, like I said, it could be used to plow snow on the sidewalk. Well, maybe not on a sidewalk, but on certain trails around town. We could use it to, if we put a tank on the front of it, we could use it to spray weeds along the side of the trail as well. So it's kind of a multi-purpose sort of vehicle. That would be used, like I said, mostly for trail maintenance and stuff like that, but we have a lot of trails to maintain. So the current tractor is, like I said, not doing particularly well. We use it for spraying and stuff like that as well.
So it actually could sort of help with desert park spraying for weeds too, I would think. Couldn't
It could, yep.
Thanks.
Okay, are we comfortable with this now? Lots of good questions. That's why he didn't wear his tie. Do you think? I don't know.
No, next week I'm going to ask for even more money.
Okay, fine. All right, so it's been moved and seconded that we go with option number 1. All in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next. Next is no notice of motions, and next is general net payroll and Sun Bowl Arena financial accounts. And so this would, to date, July the 16th, general cash requirements are $519,426.61, and Sun Bowl cash requirements of $3,191.42, and those would be handled by consensus. And net payroll accounts of $87,214.89, and that is for information. Okay, and we have a building report, which is quite interesting because
Some new builds.
yes, there are quite a few. This is a longer list than we often have, and it looks to me like we have a total for the month of $3,714,000, and total to date is $7,545,400. Now, total to date last year was $8 million. Was that? Do you remember what that was? It seems to me that we have more building this year than last. There must have been something last year at this time that brought that amount up higher. It wasn't the fire hall, was it?
No.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember. I thought we talked about this last month as well. However, we have quite a few new single-family dwellings, some alterations, detached garage, a swimming pool, and we're just happy to see those types of buildings going on. So could we have a motion that the report be received, please? Councillor Youngberg, Councillor Rhodes, all in favor. Thank you. And next is our CAO report.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Just a few of the activities of the administration over the last couple of weeks, starting first in community services. The Sun Bowl Arena shutdown is completed. All the updates and repairs have been finalized, and ice installation has started as of now, ready for our summer programming. Slow Pitch League has wrapped up. The Cactus Kids summer program is going well, with various options available for children's activities, and drop-ins are welcome. The paid parking machine is available for the boat trailer parking lot. New signage was installed this week to make sure the instructions are being followed when the machine is in use. In terms of corporate services, several complaints have been dealt with at the front counter, including unsightly properties and elm tree bugs. These unsightlies are being dealt with in accordance with our Good Neighbor bylaw. The election nomination packages are being worked on. Nomination period is September 4th to the 14th. However, the 2018 documents will be available on the website July 27th. The posting for the utility person is closed and interviews have taken place. Posting for part-time victim services worker is closed and staff is working with Oliver and local RCMP on hiring for the position. The director attended the Municipal Insurance BC workshop and it provided valuable information for its members. In terms of finance, the tax season went smoothly. 95.69% of current year taxes were received by the due date. Outstanding tax notices were mailed July 9th. 6 pending tax sale properties notices have been sent out to these property owners, and advertisements will happen in the local paper. And they're processing all tax deferment applications. In terms of planning, planning staff attended a law seminar which included discussions on cannabis, housing needs reports, and vacation rentals in residential zones. They're also working with the developer for the plan on Lot 1 at the airport. In terms of the task force for the town center, the next meeting will be on the 26th of July, and they'll continue the visiting process. Public Works pre-construction meeting was held with H&M Excavating for the 62nd Avenue Road Rehabilitation Project, and construction is scheduled to start this week. Traffic control people will be on site to help golfers and local residents through the construction zone. Single lane alternating traffic is proposed. Justin Price has accepted the position of utility worker with the Operational Services Department. The West Bench Dog Park has been seeded, grass is growing, and construction is scheduled to begin on installing the shale on the infield of the ball diamonds this week. Water and sewer connections have been completed for the temporary workers camp. And the new aerators for Cell 3 at the sewer lagoons are scheduled to arrive July 24th. And originally, this would have been completed by this particular point in time, but the wrong aerators were sent for the project, and that's what's put us behind and has caused us a little bit of a more of a smell in the area due to the aeration process. Unfortunately, due to the wrong equipment coming, we were caught in the warmer summer season. So the Ministry of Environment will be performing their annual permit inspections on the sewer lagoons and landfill on July 17th and 19th. MOTI has deemed the trees on Highway 97 adjacent to Larkspur Place as dangerous trees, and will be removing them as soon as possible, as soon as their contractor is available, and various asphalt repairs will be happening throughout the community. That's my report for today.
Good. Thank you very much. Could we have a motion to receive the report, please? Thank you very much, Councillor Youngberg, Councillor King. All in favor? Thank you. And now to council reports. Councillor Youngberg.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. This heat has sort of got us a little bit by surprise, so we're working at 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning at Desert Park because it's so hot by the afternoon. So we're fighting puncture vine, and just to let everybody in the community know that, you know, puncture vine is just a strong invasive species that we have going around the community, and anybody that can help us with spraying is just more than welcome. We have got 2 sprayers on the go up there. Irrigation, we've been working on that. We're looking forward to winter training because that's why we're doing all the work, as well as making the facility usable for future use, such as barrel racing, and we've got a riding stable working and dog agility group up there using the facility as we speak. Lots of interest in the cannabis regulations to my telephone and my office these days. And so that's always takes up some time and pretty interesting discussion. That's my report.
Thank you very much. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I'm not as surprised by the heat, but I just wanted to speak to it for a moment as we go into 38, 39 degree temperatures for the next few days. If you see elderly people in our community walking with groceries and you have an extra seat in your car, an opportunity to help somebody out. Pretty extreme temperatures, and not everybody has the means and air-conditioned transportation to get around. So being the community that we are, if people can be conscious of that. I do keep a special tire iron in my car for those that do leave pets in their cars in this type of heat. I don't care if your window's open a crack or not. When you're in 39 degree temperatures, you can triple that for the inside of a vehicle. So no pets in vehicles, and check the pavement and asphalt before taking your pets out on walks. If you can't keep your hand on there for 3 seconds, there's no reason they should have their paws on there. That's my report.
And I'm assuming you mean no kids in cars too.
Right, kids too.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it, to think that people would leave.
I'd like to give people that much credit.
Yeah. Good, thank you. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Just one thing I would encourage anybody that's interested in aviation or our airport to have a look at our Committee of the Whole meeting from this morning. We were able to get some pretty detailed information on the consultant's report and how it's going to impact our community over the next little while. Personally, I'd really like to hear from more residents in our community. Everybody knows where my shop is and what my phone number is. So I would encourage people to get in touch with myself or any of the other councillors or the mayor. It's a fairly significant project in our community. It's moving forward in a fairly positive way right now, but public input is so important. So I'd like to hear anybody has any comments, any advice they'd like to offer. I'm available and certainly would like to hear from more people than we have been recently.
Thank you. And Councillor Rhodes doesn't have any air conditioning in his shop, but he does have some fans. So
One fan.
One fan.
And it's really old.
So you won't stay long. Councillor King.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attended the Osoyoos Desert Center announcement of the new building coming this fall. Very well received, and the people up there are just ecstatic to get out of the old building and into the new one, and really thank the town for their ongoing support. And I'd like to also mention Music in the Park Friday nights. I know it was rained out a couple of weeks ago. The rain just come at the wrong time, but it's on last Friday and again this Friday, so hopefully more people show up because it's a great night out.
Right. Thank you. And actually, I think it's in about 3 weeks that the Naden Band is coming, and it's at Music in the Park. And it is just a huge sellout because they're so professional. People love to have them. I just want to, I think everything else has kind of been talked about, but one of the things I want people to be extremely careful of is fires. And if we just keep our fingers crossed that we don't have any major fires around here. And I know that the weathermen and the fire service are being very, very watchful. And there have been a couple of fires recently in the Okanagan, and they've been dealt with fairly efficiently. We don't want these to start. We don't want people tossing cigarette butts out or having a campfire and not putting it out properly when they're camping, or having a fire just on your property or on your beach or something and ignoring it. So please be very, very careful. I think we've dealt with enough things this year that disasters, and we're trying to keep our residents and our visitors safe in Osoyoos, so please be very careful. And one other thing, tonight I'm going down to Gyro because the Columbia River treaty people they are coming here. It's a similar type of thing, of organization, to the Osoyoos Lake Board of Control that I'm happen to be on, and they've decided to come here, Bonneville Power Administration, a lot of them from Vancouver and from down in the States, and they're coming here to have their meetings for a couple days, have a look at the Zozel Dam and the fish hatcheries in the area, and I'm going down to speak to them tonight. They're having a picnic down there, and just spending a couple of days here to have a look and see what we've got. So that's where I'll be tonight. Anyway, enjoy the next few weeks. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and watch out for fires. Thank you. So could we have a motion to adjourn, please? Councillor King, Councillor Campbell, all in favor. Thank you very much.